What up, fams? I'm Frank, and I'm too big to fake it.
And I'm Neum, and I'm ready to send it all day, every day.
Oh, all day, every day. Welcome to Faith and Flamez, where we talk story,
Share insights that no one asked for.
and as always,
Eat some tasty food.
Man, cuz, how has the week been?
Woo, it's been a week, I'll tell you that much.
It has.
Yeah. What about yourself?
Nah, man, it's been incredible, I'm just blown away by the comments that, we've received and the emails.
Shucks, yeah.
And, some of the things that people have, expressed to us in regards to, their failures. Man, when we provided that tight but safe space, we welcomed them in, and it was, I just loved it.
What were some of the things that you took away from last podcast?
Well, man, I was just grateful, that when we talked about, failure leading to, progression and acknowledging it, I found that I was a lot more, I guess, mindful, and my kids, they're young, and, man, I felt it was really cool because, having the podcast in the back of my head, when there's moments when my kids make mistakes, and normally it's, like you turn Super Saiyan and, you're growling them, this time it was like, hey, that's all right. How can I help them progress, into, to be better, and overall, it was to help them be better, but mainly it was for me, trying to be a better parent, trying to, reach that perfection, I guess, and that's something that I took away. Yourself, cuz, anything, spring to mind?
Yeah, I think it was just spring rolls now.
Is that from Golden Dragon?
Okay. I think it was about, I had plans, as we talked about, we got our New Year's resolutions, and I kept catching myself because of the podcast trying to do things perfectly. I saw all those little spaces where I was like, I can't do that. Why can't I do that? Sharks. One of those things where I'm trying to read every day, and I was like, I missed my reading for Wednesday. And so on Thursday, I was like, stuff that, can't be bothered, I'm not going to do it. Oh, actually, progress. So I just read one page.
Yeah.
And so I think, those were my learnings and my takeaways.
This is part of progression. We're not going to get it right all the time. We're not going to be perfect. There's going to be days where we slip up. And it's about acknowledging that and then chucking some processes in place to make sure, that we do our best for it not to happen. But if it does, cuz, what's on the menu today?
Oh, yeah, we're sliding in a little bit different, man, because I was looking at the kind of things that we're going to be talking about, and we were like, okay, low and slow match as well.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, there's so many different things we can do low and slow, but something that me and you often eat that we cook low and slow.
Oh, man, please wait. Let me just prepare myself, because if you're going to say what I think you're going to say, oh, man, it's on.
We're doing pig head.
Yes! Oh my gosh.
But we're going to do pig head low and slow on the coals in the Weber.
You know what? I've never had them on the coals before.
Ooh, you're in for a treat, cuz.
Oh my gosh. Well, cuz, you're going to have to show me how we prep this,
okay.
Because, man, I'm keen to just, if I can, just give it a little bit of a kiss on the cheek and say, thank you for your services.
So what we do, cuz, is we dap it up nice and dry because there's a bit of moisture on the cheeks. Then we slice through the skin and we make those little incisions. Now, when we slice the skin, cuz, we don't want to cut into the meat, just the fat. So
wow, you got to be accurate with that stuff.
Yeah, well, I'm used to slicing into the fat and then not the meat. So we'll get into that, and after we do that, olive oil just all up in it, just massage it in.
How?
Like that. Yeah, there we
Gotta
go.
get the shoulders in.
It's all about the shoulder work.
Yeah.
After we massage that in really nice, we grab that salt shaker all the way over it.
Damn. How did you do that? Wow.
We have to make sure that there is a thick coat of salt. Yeah. And after that bad boy's ready, we place it nicely on the grill, and the coals are just gonna.
Episode 1, we talked about, we're going to, do the talk and let someone else do the walk. But I think we're going to do that together today.
Yeah. All right, man. Let's hit the kitchen, cuz.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
Oh, man, cuz. That pig head, Last time I cooked it, I cooked it for my mum. She said, she was like a little bit teary-eyed because she said that it reminded her of her father. Her father used to cook pig head all the time, and I just did mine like, man, nothing like this. I've learned some stuff from you, cuz, man, that's incredible. Like, it's, where did you learn how to do this?
I think really it comes from the passion that I have for food.
Yeah.
Like all food, like, obviously. And so I Googled it.
Pig head is quite an underrated item of the pig, eh?
I agree.
One of my favorite YouTubers, but he's retired now, Outdoor Boys.
Oh, the man.
The man, Luke. Hey, hi, Luke. If you're watching.
What up, Luke?
What's up, my man? He often has a thing called pork jowl. And, what people don't realize is that's the cheek of the pork.
Mm-hmm.
So, I guess what's on the menu for today, cuz?
By way of the topic, we're going to talk about how often in this world it's all about instant gratification.
Yeah.
About being there right now and not having to go through a process to actually get there. In that moment when you are in a place or in a calling or in a position that you don't feel qualified for, but actuals, I got to send it though.
Man, I love it. And you know what? Like, it really relates to, this pig head. Because, you can't get instant gratification. You can't cook it in, half an hour. Like you said, 6 to 7 hours on the coals. Man, that's going to be a nice journey.
Often in social media world, we see the end result. We don't see the hard work that was actually put in. And we think that, today I'm going to go for a run and I'm going to lose weight straight away. So, went for a run for 2 days straight, like 2 whole days.
Yeah.
I went for a run. Okay, I went for a walk. Okay, I went for a huff and a puff. But, it's expecting instant results from those things and not putting in the hard work.
Because I'm probably going to have to go and grab my sleeping bag, to get ready for our low and slow. So what do you reckon, Is that us, cuz?
Cook the pick it up.
Let's go. Oh man, cuz the juices that were permeating out,
Big purr?
Where's my money, Smokey?
Everything works.
It does. Yeah, but man, it looks so good, cuz. Thank you.
Taking that time, you know what you're looking forward to, but you also know that you actually have to take the time in that process, like you were saying before. You can't rush that.
Yeah.
And talking about last week, you can't rush perfection.
Yeah.
So now that that's been taken care of, because what I'd love to hear is actually some experiences, or if you have any experiences around that whole not feeling qualified, moving into a position or something that you had to do where you weren't really sure, and process that you actually had to go through, knowing that you couldn't start at the top.
Yeah, shucks, man. It's a good question. And lucky I had this prepared earlier. No, but man, honestly, it's one of those scary things. When you're thinking back about, there's always a fear, that we're never capable of doing things. And one example that comes to mind, cuz I want to share is, so I'm a teacher by trade, and I had been teaching for 4 years, and I had been encouraged to apply for a position as a deputy principal. Now 4 years of teaching is not very long. It's you do have some experience and stuff, but you're still relatively a baby in the teaching industry. Okay. And so I had ambitions of becoming a principal one day, and I just thought, what's the worst that could happen? I get a no. Yeah, cool. So I applied for this position anyway, and I had people support me and stuff for the application. I thought nothing of it. I didn't think I was gonna be successful. Went through the process, did an interview, and then I secured the position.
Oh, yo!
Yeah. So going into my 5th year of teaching, I was now deputy principal of a school.
Oh, wow!
I've never felt so unqualified before. My thought process was, now I have to be an amazing teacher in class, but now I also have to be an amazing, administrator. I have to be an amazing leader, a supporter for teachers who have been teaching. There was one lady who had been teaching for years, probably 20, 30 years.
Shucks.
You know, it was funny because I remember instances where parents were bringing children in and she had taught the parent. You know, and it was like, you know, and those are the teachers that I was expected to now lead.
Yeah.
Man, I felt so unqualified. You know, I was young still. I had very little experience in teaching. I built really strong relationships with those that I taught. You know, those were my things that I relied on. But man, like, I now had portfolios that I had to look after. You know, and these portfolios, like property, you know, I had to look after property.
Okay.
I didn't know how to look after property. All of a sudden, I was in control of money and stuff. I was like, what the heck's going on? What's my bank account number again? You know, and it was crazy. But those are the things that, you know, I was, as a young beginning teacher, was asked to do now as a deputy principal. And there was always, you know, when I sit back and I think about it now, man, I was so scared probably that whole first term, just because I was overwhelmed by, you know, this position. Because now, like I said, not only did I have to look after these kids, but I was responsible for all the kids too, you know, and helping my, you know, the principal of the school. And that was scary. But one thing I noticed is it wasn't a coincidence that I got the position. I got the position because I had skills that others saw in me. So the principal and the board, they trusted in these skills that I had displayed when I went in for my interview, that I had the goods to fulfill the position. And so, you know, and as time went on and I understood the process of, actually, I can do this. And if I take time and put time aside, you know, to work on these skills and develop, you know, these skills that I know I have, and if I asked the right people and relied on the same, you know, on the support given from these people, I was able to be successful. So, you know, as the year went on, and, you know, it was funny because at the end of the year, when I reflected back on the start of the year, I felt like, you know, I was scared for no reason. You know, and like, it's funny when we're put in situations where we don't feel like we've got the goods. You know, those are really, really difficult situations to be on.
Yeah.
But normally when we're in those situations, there's two things you can do. One is you can fold, just be like, yeah, nah, I can't do it, and underperform. Or two, stand up and just work and try your best to, you know, show and develop the skills and the abilities that you have, you know, for those particular things. And so when I'm thinking about our topic today, you know, I understand completely how it feels to, you know, be overwhelmed by the things that are happening around you and being in certain positions. But also, I understand, you know, the time, the energy, and the strength that it takes to be able to build yourself to be able to fulfill that.
Okay, yes, you felt inadequate, but that courage that you took to actually take those steps, going through all of that must, you know, well, from what I heard, there was a bit of anxiety and a bit of, I don't know what's going on, a bit of uncertainty. And then looking back after you'd gone through a whole year, it was like, hey, easy dog.
Scared for nothing once, eh? Man, thank you so much for picking on that, because I didn't really think of the word courage. But man, it does take a lot of courage to, you know, when you're in that kind of a situation where, you know, you feel unqualified and you feel like you don't have the goods, to have the courage to build up. And has there been any instances where, you know, that you can think of where you've required, and I'm going to use your word, courage to overcome?
For me, I feel like I'm not qualified for anything, but I'll tell everyone I am. I'm one of those ones that are like, bro, man's lied on his CV. So I think I was evaluating services for people that live in disability services. And I had no clue what I was doing, you know. And I thought, look at all these people. They're so knowledgeable. They know everything. They live this life. They breathe it. I'm just like, yeah, I'm here. Yeah, let's go. The courage side of it was, I was there for 5 days and I'd never been to this certain place before. So I was like, man, I just want to go home. I go home to my wife. I want to go home to my little bubble where I can tell myself I'm great at everything, but not have to actually put up.
Yeah, man.
The next day I decided, man, I've just got to keep trying. Got to keep trying, like you were saying, that persistency, that consistency. And I thought, why do I feel like this? And it's because I always felt like I had to be it the moment I walked through the door. I had to be at this position my colleague was at who'd been doing this job for 25 years,
Wow.
that I needed to be at there right now. And that comes to that whole, I guess, instant gratification, where we want things now.
Yeah.
I discounted the 25 years this person had put in to this craft. And so when I kind of took a bit of a humble pill or humble cake or humble steak, whatever you want to call it, I saw that I needed to work my way through these processes. I needed to start from the bottom. Now I'm here, like rather than started from the top. No, it doesn't work like that. It's like even like climbing a ladder. You start on the ground, and for me, I stay on the ground. Cause
I was going to ask, where do you get your ladder from? Because I need one too.
I don't go up those ladders. But it's step by step to get to the roof or wherever you're trying to climb to. When you go in there with this desire to learn and know that you can't do it overnight, it helps the process move so much more smoothly. Well, that's what I've found anyway.
The things that you've just shared, man, they just hit home like crazy. In the education sector, there's often a saying, be at the table, not on the menu. Meaning, it's better to not be discussed, but be at the discussion.
Okay.
And I know for a lot of us, especially, Pasifika people, it's really difficult for us to reach out, to show our skills, because we're too stuck, trying to be the shy, humble guy. Often when we're the shy, humble guy, we end up being on the menu, being talked about, rather than sitting at the table talking with, about these different decisions and stuff. And that, I don't know why, but that came so strongly through the experiences that you shared. And you're right, like instant gratification never does, support long-term growth. It supports a fragile, prize that you get right at the very start. But if you want something to last longer, if you want longevity, that requires a bit more courage. It requires a bit more work.
Yeah. Oh, cuz I what that, man, I just want to circle back, Can you tell us a little bit more about when you were as DP, and you're talking about the fairs at the start, and you talked about at the end of the year you look back, but like how long did you stay in that job? What were some of the things that you learned as you were going through compared to that not feeling qualified? Because share some of those.
When I was first in the position, I was expecting to be the best straight away, but that fear, that kind of taught me that I needed to be patient, and work towards develop those skills. And so I stayed in the job for 3 years. And then I still wasn't the best at it, but I had overcome those feelings of feeling inadequate, and because I had worked and I had chipped away at my craft, I became better as a deputy principal. There are still some issues, because some days I'd feel like I was an amazing teacher, and then some days where I wasn't, because I was an amazing deputy principal. Vice versa, sometimes I was an amazing deputy principal, not a very good teacher. But those are the battles, and I guess in that war, those were the lessons that came from it. I was trying to understand managing that, but also understanding, now that we're talking about it, it didn't come all at once. It wasn't, instantly gratifying. It was something that I had to build towards. Yeah.
Yo.
You're right though, man, because your head has to be in the game, man. And speaking about heads.
I see where you're going. I see it. All right.
Sorry, I could smell something in. It'd be rude of us not to, because, like this pig, he's part of our progression.
Yeah.
He's lived, his life led him to service us like this, how it's going to.
And we respected him to leave him in there for 6 to 7 hours, ready to plate up. Is that what I'm hearing?
Because I haven't heard better words than that in a long time.
Let's do it, guys.
All right, let's do it. Honestly, I wish there was because we need to invent smell-o-vision.
Oh.
Hey, because the way that this smells right now is, my half looks incredible. Because, man, the juices, look at the color on this too. It's
That's grateful for, we'll name him Steve the Pig. Thank you, Steve, for your
Steve,
service.
Thank you so much. You know, you probably felt unqualified, but look at you. You know, you've worked hard and now you're here. And I'm going to qualify that, man. You know, but what a great, topic, discussion, talanoa, kōrero we've had about, striving, consistency, not having that instant gratification. Grateful for the time that, we've had together, cuz I always look forward to, to these.
I just really enjoyed that. When I share my experiences and hear your experiences, and then when we read, the comments as well and hear their experiences, it's so cool to actually feel like, okay, I'm not alone in this.
Yeah.
I'm not alone in the fears for new roles, fears for new things, fears for whatever it may be that you're doing today.
Yeah.
Taking the day head on. So I'm really, enjoying these discussions, these podcasts. It's okay to have that fear, go through it, but also while you're doing it, as you were sharing, it doesn't have to be perfect.
Yeah.
But you just have to keep going, man. I'm going to try and apply that today when I'm eating this pig head as well. And I'm like, I'm feeling a little bit... No, keep going.
Keep going.
Just keep swimming. Hey!
Nah,
What about you, cuz?
I don't know if this relates to you, but after sharing, there's always a sense of like, it's like a weight lifted, but it's also like, you feel good, you feel elevated, lifted, that your experiences aren't isolated to just me, that, you've had experiences and like you said, the comments and the stories that we've been getting in, they're similar experiences. So I love that it's not, something that happens in a vacuum. It's not something isolated. I'm not a silo, but these are experiences that we all get to share and we all get to talk and we learn from each other. Yeah. So, that's something that, I definitely think I'm going to take away this week is, I guess, being consistent and sharing, I guess, talking when I'm struggling, and talking with people to help me. Because, that's a lot of the things that we get is help from everyone. So
yeah, I love that, cuz. And I think that's for everyone, We just want to invite you out there that are listening, that are watching. If there's things that you've kind of been afraid with, fear of not being qualified in those things, man, give it a blast and see what happens. And if you do, man, let us know too.
Definitely.
Share it in the comments, email us. Like we got a couple of long emails the other day. Beautiful.
Amazing. And again, like I mentioned it before, but the vulnerability it takes to be able to share those, we're grateful that, you allow us into your space, and that creating this safe space.
Yeah.
Not for this pig though, because
it's not a safe
not
space.
safe for you. What's on the menu for next week?
Good, guys. So next week we're going to be talking about the preparation before the crisis. I'm not going to go into it. I'm just going to leave it there.
Man.
Leave it as a bit of a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Hey? Because I just want to smash these pigs.
Nah, well, you know what? We've worked hard for this.
Yeah.
And I think it's time for us to enjoy. But man, that topic next week, it's going to be a banger, that's for sure.
Let's go.
Yeah. But hey, thank you so much for joining us. I'm Frank.
And I'm Neum.
And this is
Faith and Flames.